What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Chromecast. My name is Joe Humphrey. I thought about just saying Joe this week. Hey, I'm just going to go with Joe.
I think
What's up, everyone?
We got to that point. I think so.
Welcome back. My name's Joe. This is Robbie.
What's up?
And Gabriel.
Good day.
And if you are watching the video, I guess you're going to hear him also because we got him his own mic and everything.
Got a mic. Well, he's got a video on him too.
Yeah.
We're recording. Yeah.
So he could. We said last week.
Yeah.
We need to have an Andrew cam.
We need to have an Andrew cam. I was thinking
year of doing.
Yeah, I like Andy cam.
Yeah,
the Andy cam.
We're going with the Andy cam. So Andrew, Drew. He's a man of many nicknames.
What is your preferred shortened name?
I will go by anything. My sister calls me stupid.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Cool.
So we now have an Andrew cam. This is being recorded on a Pixel 6 Pro. So we're testing out a little pixel magic over there. We're gonna see what it looks like. It's probably gonna look great, and we're gonna be like, we should just do the whole thing with this.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't die or lock up or anything like that.
I do. Yeah.
It's a long. I just never have recorded anything on a phone for this amount of time. So
I have.
We'll see.
It works fine.
Okay.
It did on my OnePlus. I don't know about that.
It might
Is
get.
that in?
It might
that's
get
not
hot.
in beta or anything, is it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
No, that's this
Nah.
one. This one's in 13. I
Yeah.
don't know what. Yeah, we'll find out.
It's fine.
Anywho, we're stoked about it.
It'll work out, or you might not see it at all. We're gonna be like, it's not usable. Sorry.
We'll be like, yeah, the Andy cam turned out really awesome. We have this sweet new angle, and then.
We forgot to press.
And then
record.
and then we'll just do like a little blank screen with like just an avatar.
That's why I'm checking it to make sure. Like,
is it rolling?
Yeah.
Well, the clamp.
The white button is square.
The clamp kept hitting the down button, and it was making it start record, and so I had to get it all finagled. But say hello.
Nice.
Say hello to
That's
everyone,
sweet.
Andrew.
Hello, Mr. Humphrey. How are you?
We're just gonna have a conversation back and forth between the two cameras.
Yeah, they're not
I'm
actually
doing
looking
well.
at each other. They're just going to look at the camera. Yeah.
Hey, you did a really good job on that last edit.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
There were all sorts of Easter eggs. It was fun.
It was.
It was good. It was good. It was good stuff. We've been doing some fun stuff. As Robbie said, it's the year of doing. Hey, if we're gonna do a cam, we're gonna do it.
Was this here last time?
It was. It's
Okay.
just a little brighter.
Oh, it's fine. It's just it's funny to me. Like you watch. I watch more. We talked about this. I watch more video podcasts than I do listen to audios. And when they're well produced and they look well, you don't see any of the behind the scenes.
No.
But now this is what reporters do every day, sitting at a news desk.
And it's crazy. Like some of these podcasters that I follow that have like legit studios now it's full blown like news studio with like the lights hanging and like people, and it's just like a YouTube production, and I love that. I think that's
what was
so
it
cool.
Marquez
We're getting there.
had on the ceiling in that one room? He had.
Oh, they have a bunch of basically our apertures.
Yeah.
They're just pointed up at the ceiling.
Yeah.
It's like 6 of them.
Yeah.
And then they can just flip them on all at
And
once.
like
So
several of them are just angled upwards just to give some indirect
But when you're
light.
sitting
And it's
in
a
it,
custom
like,
grid.
Yeah, it's
Dude.
like this is the most unnatural light setting I've ever been in. But the finished product, thanks to these two gentlemen, is going to look phenomenal.
Look really cool.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hope you don't mind. I actually ordered 6 of those.
We're going to put them in the ceiling.
Yeah.
I told Andrew
Do it
it was the
next
year
week.
of doing, and he just went a little over.
Kept
Do
doing
whatever
it.
you want with your money, Andrew.
Emphasis on your money.
Yeah. I did the issue in here, so we have like these 2 lights. We'll maybe have Andrew. Well, we snagged a couple behind the scenes that I posted on social, but we've got the main aperture over here, and then we've got our other little Godox light kind of over here in the corner. We're limited in our light setup because of the TV.
Oh, yeah.
So reflections off the TV were kind of being a little weird. I thought about eventually getting the dome, what are those called? Man, Andrew, you know what I'm talking about, like the little globe.
Yeah, I can't think
the
of the name,
globe
but it allows
diffusers.
The light to go.
I forget what they
wide.
call
So
them.
it kind of lets
Just
light go
does-
Yeah,
everywhere.
we just put it up
every
top here, and it
direction,
just kind of lights up the whole thing. That's what I think. I think for the Waveform podcast, I'm pretty sure that's their main little light source.
Maybe next episode, that's what we'll be lit with.
That's right.
It's the year of doing.
It's the year of doing.
We're
It's the
going to
year
go
of
get
doing.
a new dome diffusing thing.
Dome diffusing thing.
Sure.
So yeah, if you didn't catch last week's version, the video version, it was our first time doing it. This is the second time. We're making little tweaks as we go here, but I think the reception was good. People were like, "This is fun. I get to actually see you all sit and talk." and instead of just listening. And I think it adds just a little flavor,
Yeah, for sure.
just something a little different.
And I'm like Gabe. I don't watch. I feel like Joey. I think I've said this on this podcast before. There's an episode of Friends where he's getting interviewed, and at the end of the interview, she's like, "So the last question, what's your favorite soap opera?" He's like, "I don't watch soap operas," and he's on a soap opera.
Yeah.
And she's like, "I'm sure the readers of Soap Opera Digest will be glad to hear that."
Yeah.
But to be honest, I don't listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
And if the ones that I have listened to a little bit, I've watched on YouTube. I watched a segment or something like from Lou or Marquez or something, but I don't listen to all of theirs either. Like, so I like the fact that we create pieces of content that are sometimes outside of what we would even consume.
Exactly.
Like I know you listen to a bunch of them, and so I'm not sitting down here to make a podcast each week thinking like, man, I love podcasts. I love podcasting. I love all this stuff. Like I do like podcasting. It's fun.
Yeah.
I like talking, but
It's a fun format for sure.
yeah. But it's cool that we are leaning into all these different media types instead of, just always doing the same thing that we like. Like we started doing YouTube videos because we all like to watch YouTube videos. And
Exactly.
So, and that's a fine thing to do, but you also have to start kind of stretching out. And so now having the video portion of this podcast, I'm like, I'm sure somebody's going to like it.
Yeah.
I probably won't.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had people who said, they're not really that invested in the audio version of our podcast, but they really liked the video version, and they will continue to watch it.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
It's just given some variety, and then you mentioned like clips and stuff too. So Andrew and I have been working on some additional pieces of content. So taking this main video and then maybe having a couple little clips that are 15 minutes, something like that. Kind of looking around at some other folks that have done that. And again, it's like you might, as a casual YouTube viewer, sit and watch something like that.
Oh,
you're maybe
100%.
not going to invest in an hour and 40 minutes of us talking,
Right.
And
Especially
then even
not us talking. I will not. No. I did watch last week's just because I wanted to see all the little, and I didn't make it all the way through.
Yeah.
So
And
I'm going
those
to need
weren't even-
timestamps for all the nuggets.
Yeah.
I need that, so I just fast forward to
Well-
it. 'Cause honestly, I don't want to sit here and listen to myself
I think
talk. So.
I think you should actually edit this week so you can pay attention to this
Ooh,
one.
that sounds
Ooh.
terrible.
Listen to it on the first playback and then the second and third playback. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lost
just-
me at edit.
You lost me at listen to it. I don't want
No
to.
thanks. But yeah, like doing the clips and then also even doing some like vertical video stuff with the podcast, which I think will be really fun. So we've spun up the separate YouTube channel for this. We might even make another channel for the clips. I think the shorts can go on the main channel that has, the content or the clip. It's all so much fun trying to figure out what YouTube wants you to do.
Right, and there's no right answer. Well, there is a right answer. They just don't want to tell it to you.
Yeah.
It's experiment, fail a bunch, and then figure
on
it out.
Instagram, it's a lot easier. It's like, hey, our brand is Chrome Unbox on Instagram.
Right.
People like cool content. Like we can make little vertical videos that are on Reels or on IGTV or whatever, and it's all just kind of, hey, we can just throw everything out there. But on YouTube, there's serious like revenue implications for changes that you do on your channel. So if we rolled out, and that's why if you all have seen shorts, you've maybe seen other creators producing some shorts, putting them out on their channel. Marquez and some others have even made separate channels for them. There's reasons for that because of the algorithm and the way that people interact with your content. The algorithm learns that and starts to recommend it based on that.
Yeah, because one thing affects everything on your channel.
Yeah.
It's not, none of it's a per video basis. It's you did this thing, so now your whole channel is going to either benefit or suffer.
Consistency of content, types of content, length
Watch
of
time.
content, watch time,
Engagement.
So, like those two metrics right there are the main ones.
Yeah.
And YouTube has come out and I think corrected a little bit of it based on some feedback.
But they link everything to revenue. So it's like, the watch time on these, the shorter watch time won't affect your revenue metrics and stuff like that. Because what was happening is looking at money for minutes watched and all that stuff was getting jacked up with shorts. That's fine that you fix that, but that's not fixing the algorithm.
Yeah, what about views? What
Right.
if we put out a video that gets, and some of these shorts have gotten tons and tons of views for creators.
Yeah.
And you get one that has 10 million views, whereas your average
Right.
View duration is, whatever.
4 minutes.
Yeah,
and now it's
4
you
minutes,
just
and now
put
you've
10 million views of 60 seconds into that.
plus all the views that are on that. So then you got views, watch time. It's all
What's the
very
time window for a short? How long?
60.
60 seconds right
That's
now.
like the max.
Yep.
Yeah, they need to go ahead and extend
But
that to 2
clips,
minutes.
what are they? Are they is it the same?
So if we do clips
Clips will
like
be just
that-
a YouTube video that we upload.
Yeah.
It'll just be a
They're just
regular
short.
format.
Okay,
just to
gotcha.
kind of it's taking one segment from the podcast and putting it out.
Okay.
So one little section that we think is interesting that we want to
Gotcha.
share,
The nice
rather
thing
than
is,
having to share the
on
whole
this
thing.
new channel, we can do that. Like
Exactly.
we've got a channel that is
I'm
YouTube
oblivious.
content.
I mean, I'll be honest. I watch like our YouTube videos when they pop up on my phone, but we've got so much going on in every aspect of the business.
Yeah.
That, like Joe posted something on his Instagram yesterday, and I saw it, and I was like, Joe's in front of the camera. I have no idea what he's doing. Okay.
That's where we are.
That's
All right.
there's some fun stuff going on.
Andrew's already been in like 17 videos. He's been here for 1 week.
Content, baby.
Speaking of the content pieces, though, like
Yeah.
if this is a shameless plug for Patreon, but I sat and watched our behind the scenes with that Andrew put together for the latest how-to video we did, and even my wife, who generally glazes over with anything that we do,
She's like, this guy that I'm married to is so boring on camera. What did she say the one time? She was like,
I can't believe, like, I just showed her, like, to be honest, our podcast metrics are pretty
Humble.
Yeah, humble's a good word. We don't get like wild, crazy amounts of plays and stuff. This is something we do because we believe in it as a format, and we're in it for the long run. And I was sharing with her those statistics, and she's like, "That many people sit and just listen to you talk for over an hour." And I was like, "She's like, I can't believe that that's a thing." But she said that when we started writing too, like. There's that many people like reading just about this, and then as we made videos, like there's that many people I can't believe there's that many people. Like, so I can't either.
But the behind the scenes was fun, and way more to come on that.
Yeah, and so that's another piece of content. We put,
kudos to Andrew for knocking that one out.
You all said you want to do these like short versions. She saw it probably on Instagram or something. Saw it and she's like, "Oh, I saw that behind the scenes. Like, it was really cool. Like, I really like that." So I was like, "Well, let's I'll pull it up." It's unfortunate, like our Patreon stuff's got to be on Vimeo to be locked down, and so there's like no way to just cast up a Vimeo video, unfortunately. So I did the best I could with it, but we sat there and watched it, and it's just engaging content of of a different style again, something that we haven't been doing or hadn't been able to do. And we're doing it.
And like cool. Whenever in the before times without Andrew, we would make behind the scenes and I just had to film it, right? So I'm talking and trying to film, and we would normally just film them on the Pixel phones and just, for the convenience and efficiency of it, being able to just continue to put out content. This is I think an area where Andrew will definitely bring some value to the behind the scenes, to the Patreon stuff, but slowly working that into some of the main channel stuff too, I think will be really fun.
Yeah, for sure.
But the behind the scenes stuff, like we've got an idea for another big, I guess we can go ahead and say it. We're going to film it probably tomorrow. We can talk about the website.
Yeah.
So we have officially full-blown launched the newest version of chromeunbox.com. And we're going to be doing like a little announcement video that'll go out on the main channel. But then we had an idea of maybe a little bit more of an intimate, maybe interview style behind the scenes video, telling a little bit more of the story, a little bit more of the methodology, behind the rebuild, or like why we did this or why we did that. Like the announcement video that'll go out on the main channel is more of, hey, we did this. Here's some cool stuff that's on there. It's more of a general announcement. But then doing some of this behind the scenes stuff, and obviously
just noticed that you did that.
Anybody that does join us over on Patreon is helping to support, everything that we're doing, and continue our independent journalism to some degree. If you want to call it journalism, blogging, vlogging.
Independent content creation.
Yes, there you go. That's a much better way of putting it. Thank you.
We are content creators. That's
right.
what we do.
That's right.
We're not going to get bogged down into the...
the semantics don't matter, but I mean, the fact of the matter is we have an awesome team that creates a lot of great content, and there's some journalism mixed in there. There's some research journalism. There's all sorts of stuff, and we, I guess we can go ahead and say this. Joanna is writing more for us now, and she has her own unique style, and she's a really great writer. And her combined with Michael, we have what I believe are two of the best well, Michael's not a contributor; he works for us, but two of the best writers working for us in
Yeah.
the business. I mean,
it's
as far as what we do.
Yeah, it's it's like this next version of Chrome Unbox, where we've tried to really kind of take it up a notch and try to just create as much cool content as we can.
I mean, we've done a lot of little changes, but this would be 3.0, right? I think really.
Definitely,
so.
In a lot of ways. And for
we
me,
had one other major overhaul
on the site.
Yeah.
So
maybe two.
Yeah, this is technically the fourth iteration of the site, but the first iteration was like a beta.
Yeah.
It was this theme I had sitting there, and I put YouTube videos on it.
Yeah.
And so then when we decided to do this, I built it. I built the news version of the site, because the first version of it, we could write on it, but it was a mess.
Yeah.
So there was that main version. Remember the circular logo up top?
Oh,
the
yeah.
menu was split on both sides. So that was kind of 1.0, 2.0. Oh, I'm sorry. No, this is 4.
Yeah.
So 2.0
Metro?
was that it was Milan.
Milan,
was the name of the
yeah.
theme.
Theme,
So it
yeah.
had the big 3 blocks up top of content, and then some stuff below. That theme was a bit of a mess too. I got so far into it, designing it, and I was like, well, can't go back now.
Yeah.
We're just gonna deal with it.
And it was also that was side hustle times.
Yeah, I remember when we landed on that one, because it was like, oh, we were like this, but we could do this with it and kind of do that, and then you got into doing it. It was like, well,
it's not doing that.
This isn't going to do that, and that's not going to do that. So we're not going to get the end result that we really wanted,
Right.
but this is where we're at.
We
so
didn't
it's what
stick
we're
with
gonna
that one
do.
too long.
No, it wasn't too long.
Maybe not even a year.
Yeah.
Then we went to the no sidebar one, which we've been with for a while. So the way the sites looked, up until a week ago, it's been that way for a couple years. And it served us well. It was a good,
absolutely.
clean design,
Super
but there were
clean.
just things we've been wanting to do over time that we wanted to add, and realizing that such a huge amount of our traffic goes to the homepage, and we just weren't doing anything with that.
Right,
So,
and the new theme really keeps our core, aesthetic and our style. It just expounds on what you were talking about. It gives the readers a more interactive experience on the homepage.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going.
And
for.
I love
dark mode.
Yeah, and dark mode is amazing.
Yeah.
And
this
Michael,
really cool menu.
Yeah, Michael pointed out, some of the similarities to Discover, even, as you're scrolling through Discover, and it's just this very clean aesthetic still, and adding all these other new little elements is a result of just more content. We used to put out, couple articles a day,
1 or 2
yeah,
videos
and
a
so
week, and that was it.
yeah, and so having this kind of chronological feed or whatever on the homepage, and there it is, there's our content,
Right.
No big
You
deal.
just get
But
to the
now,
homepage and you can see it
yeah,
all.
now that we're churning out so much more stuff and podcasting and additional videos and all this other stuff we're doing on the homepage, especially, you've kind of broken it out into these different sections. And then, oh, by the way, when you're reading an article now, on the side, on that sidebar, you've got these other pieces of content you can go check out. So it's just more dynamic, I think is the word I keep coming back to. It's just more dynamic. And and just kudos to Robbie for just crushing it. He's been, if you've noticed Robbie not writing as much, that's because he has been in the zone.
Yeah. And it's interesting, thinking about this as a kind of a next, all these things happened at one time. So, I kind of broke from content creation quite a bit to work on the website. Well, Andrew came on at that time, and now, JoJo's coming on. And so, it's this interesting moment, for me at least, kind of sitting back and looking okay, that for me, it was very difficult to ever think about allowing some of that control of the content to relax a little bit. And I was kind of forced to. If we were going to get this website done, I knew that was going to have to happen. And so, in doing so, we've brought all these other pieces in. We didn't drop off in any way on the website. And so now it's okay, how do I reinsert myself now in the mix of this? It's not been that long. It's not like it's been months or anything, but it's okay, I want to be strategic with time and, figure out what's the next phase for, where I'm most needed, and so it's been multi-purpose in that way, and it was so nice to be able to to back up and just do this
and have Michael and Gabe just churning out content
and that's what I was
in
going
the
to say,
midst of that.
there was no way that happens 2 years ago.
Right.
There's no way I could have been well, Gabe, You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
all you.
make no mistake, the site redesign has been something at top of mind for us for better part of a year and a half now.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been discussing this, planning it, and then we got into the implementation phase of, okay, here's how we want to start, and you know, and in all honesty, we had intended on possibly doing it a couple of months back, but because of certain reasons, we were decided that wasn't the best decision. So we timed this to be launched now, and the timing was perfect.
Yeah.
Because even 2 or 3 months ago, it would have been chaos. Probably,
Yeah, I'm very glad we waited.
Yeah, it's all worked out. So yeah, go check it out, chromeunbox.com. You can kind of explore some of these new pieces of content on the homepage, and then, like I said, in content, you've got some new stuff over on the side you can check out. And yeah, we're really excited about it, and really excited to have it out there, and hope that it's valuable to our readers. I mean, that's the whole point of doing all of this, right? Is just to continue to be as valuable and helpful and create as much beneficial content as possible. So there you go. New website, new content, new people. It's fun. It's crazy. Fun times, man. Fun times. I love it so much.
And a globe diffuser
coming. And a globe diffuser coming.
I'm going to make sure it happens.
We have a new living room set up.
We had Charlie's Pizza for lunch.
I mean, let's not discount the fact that we just have another person here too.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about like Andrew, helping and putting out new content, but like when you boil down to the just brass tacks of, we've been in this office with the three of us, for
ever
2 years now, and we have just another person sitting at a desk each day.
Yeah. I'm still getting used to it.
Yeah, hopefully soon I get a vote for like what we eat and that kind of thing.
No.
It's too soon.
No. Not happening.
Don't go crazy.
Yeah, so it's
I still haven't shown you how to use the coffee maker yet.
I gave him
Joe gave him
I gave him a rundown yesterday.
Yeah, it's like, man,
yeah,
it's no good. It's like the best thing we do
he's-
around here.
I know, right? He's all in on it. You said you worked at a coffee shop
He's a barista.
back in the day?
In 2005, I worked in the mall at Jungle Road Cafe.
Oh yeah, I remember that place.
Nice. So yeah, he was up to speed quick. But yeah, we've talked about it a bunch on here. Our Breville Barista Pro.
Yeah, 870 XL.
Express. Barista Express. Fantastic.
Did I get there? 870 XL? I think that's right.
Sure. Wow. Are you serious right now?
Look it up.
Do we have wagers? I mean,
no.
I'm taking bets.
I feel like you're pretty confident in this. I'm not.
Unless you just like made that up out of nowhere. Then
so
it's got
also shout out to Fresh Roasted Coffee, chromeunbox.com/coffee.
Yeah.
You can go get you some freshly roasted coffee delivered to your doorstep. It's all we drink here. What do you guys?
Literally.
What do we have right now?
I got my parents on it now. We've
got
got
my mom's on
our
it.
former employer. They
It's
all
awesome.
order it.
It's
Again,
fantastic.
not a shameless plug. We love
Like this is
fresh
stuff
roasted coffee.
This is stuff we actually enjoy. What do we have right now? Are we still?
He's
wow.
got it right.
870 XL.
It's like, there's
baby.
no way you just made that up.
No, that
Like,
was too specific.
I knew it was 8 something XL. I knew
It was back in a crevice.
Yeah,
somewhere
he's-
back there.
You know, I
Right
just
back there.
remember because your brother got the one without that has the digital, right?
Yes.
The whatever digital display. Remember, we'll just call him Carl. We won't say any other. Do you remember Carl coming up here that day? Were you here? Yeah, I think you were here.
I got to figure out who Carl is. So what did Carl do?
Carl,
Carl.
the car guy.
Oh, yeah.
And he wanted to flex that he has the newer version in
Yeah.
his what did he say?
I think it's down here in this
His
little apartment.
condo
Yeah.
or whatever he
Whatever.
called it. So yeah,
With the
anyway.
digital display.
Yeah, so he's got the one Robbie's brother had. He wanted to flex on that. I'm like, well, that's great. That
I
one,
still wouldn't buy
Ours
that.
is
one,
better.
Carl.
that didn't exist when we bought ours. Two, if you are a true
If you know what you're doing, you don't want
coffee snob, you want this one, not
that.
that one.
Because my brother's got a
pressure
touchscreen one,
gauge and-
and he didn't know. Like
Yeah.
he
No,
thought
he
he was
did, yeah.
buying the nicer one. And so I'm like, where's the pressure gauge at? He's like, I don't know. I mean, I was
How do
showing.
you know?
That's
I was showing
instrumental.
Him, right.
Yeah, you have a bad bag of beans that
You'll
weren't
know.
sealed. They're puff, and you put them in
That's
there.
what I
you
told
don't
him.
know.
I was like, honestly, you're just gonna have to look at the flow and
Yeah.
see if it looks good. But
Right.
sometimes the pressure's too low and the flow
yeah.
still looks okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's super weird that it doesn't have a pressure gauge on it. And it's
Yeah.
way more expensive than ours.
Yeah, it's.
I
Because
just-
it's got a touch screen.
Yeah, I
on
just
it.
thought about it yesterday. That just clicked to me. I was like, he came up here and acted all arrogant.
Shouldn't be shocking.
I
He
used
was-
to-
He
I'm
and his
joking.
little group of people were like opening our doors. And just like
Yeah,
walking in.
I used to work for the guy. He's
What
all
is
right. He's
happening?
all right guy. He's a little out of touch.
Yeah,
Let's just
there
put
you
it that
go.
way. So,
There you
but cool thing, I saw just a quick video. It might have been a reel yesterday. They were showing the results of over tamping. So they said 2 shots on top of each other video, and the extraction obviously takes a lot longer, but you end up over extracting and getting bitter.
Yeah.
But it was so cool.
Some of that
seeing
sour taste sometimes. I think from over tamping.
Stop over tamping,
Yeah,
Andrew.
Yeah, that's
But
my
a
bad.
part of me does wish we had that type of portafilter that just has the screen where you can see the crema coming
we
out.
can,
I just
we
think
can
it
pop
looks
off
so
the bottom
cool.
on ours. I'm pretty
Can we?
sure. I don't know, maybe not. I'm pretty sure you can.
I'm pretty
No,
sure
no.
you just made that
Ours
up.
is-
No, I have
I'll
no
go
idea.
grab it here in a minute.
Yeah, ours
You can
isn't.
definitely do that.
Enclosed.
However, you can't do
Yeah, because
Does it all come down together?
ours is small and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like it's not one of like the. I think the old
Sure,
one we
they
had,
make.
the-
That one.
the
could
real
have.
deal
Maybe that's the
espresso
one I'm
machine.
thinking
I mean,
of.
ours is great. I just think that looks so cool when
Yeah.
it comes
Oh,
to the
yeah.
The
screen.
little jib. Yeah. So there you go. All right, we're gonna talk.
we haven't talked about anything on
We're
the
gonna
list
we're
yet.
gonna get to the list
30 minutes
here
in.
a moment. Has it
Yeah.
really been 30 minutes?
I didn't
What are
think
we
about-
at? What
I
are we at,
didn't think
Andrew?
We're at 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't think about the website. I'm like,
I didn't
crap, we
either,
should
but
have
that's
said
good.
something about
No,
that.
that's good that we got that. And content and JoJo and Andrew, it's all
Hey,
good stuff.
You want to go ahead and you
promise.
can make fun of me for the phone?
Yeah,
real
let's make fun of your phone real quick.
Robbie bought a new phone.
get over
End
it.
of story.
quick. Just be done with it.
Hey, I will admit, today he said he was sitting there, and I don't remember what we were talking about, but he just said, I do have to say, I'm loving the phone.
Yeah, it's like
and
really
it
growing on
occurred to me, because, I mean, when Robbie gets a new phone or a new Chromebook or whatever, I can already, I've known Robbie for a couple years. I can already sense, how he's trying to condone it, or how he's, or if he's already convinced himself in the back of his mind it's not going to work, how he's trying to gets around, gets to that, and that's fine. I mean, that's how we make
I'll
a
mention
lot.
something.
Yeah.
This one thing.
Yeah,
It's like,
I'm sitting here
going back.
Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking he's not said a word about that phone, and what he has said has been he's the speakers on it are insane,
unbelievable.
But then I actually went ahead and flipped over to the Pixel 6, and he said, well, you are going to miss this on your OnePlus because of the display and the whatever. And I will admit I still play PUBG on my OnePlus, but he hasn't said a word about that. I think he might.
I mean, it's got
loving
it.
it.
It has to pass the 2-week test.
Yeah, the first couple of days I was like, "Phew, it's a unit, man. It's a big phone."
Yeah.
But I told Joe, I was like, this phone is actually bigger than the Pixel 6 Pro, and it's just a big phone.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have like cutouts or notches at the top. It's got some, small bezels at the top and bottom for those speakers, which sound amazing. I mean, it outdoes most Chromebooks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In the speaker department, I was shocked how good they are. But it's big for a reason.
Yeah.
And that
Serves a purpose.
Right. It's not just big. It's
Right.
like, hey, this is big on purpose. Like there's a reason for it. The battery's huge. Like we played, we only did one round of PUBG today.
So have we said exactly
but
what
I'm
it
at-
is? Which
not yet.
Yeah.
I'm at 70% battery still after which,
Yeah.
on my Pixel, we'd play our PUBG round and I'd be way under 50%.
Oh, yeah.
Because, those kind of games just kill your battery. But it's a 6,000 milliamp hour battery
Yeah.
inside here. 3,000 milliamp
Jeez.
hours, actually. It's got, here,
Schlotz.
let's do this because I forgot, like we got cameras on. So let me turn my system lighting on.
Sear the
I
let's
don't-
sear the sensor on the camera.
So you can see it going through its little colors with the RGB logo on
Yeah.
the back.
Oh, it's-
So I don't know which camera it'd be better in.
Yeah.
I turn that off most of the time. That's a little much. But yeah, it's the Snapdragon 888 Plus. It's the Asus ROG Phone 5S. So it's the ROG Phone 5 that came out 6 months ago.
I didn't even realize they were on the 5th iteration of
They're
this
technically
phone.
on the 4th. It's
Yeah.
4 is
Oh.
unlucky. Is it in China? Is Asus
Yeah,
Chinese?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
I don't know. Wherever they're out of, 4 is unlucky.
Asus is Taiwan.
Only
Maybe.
we had a way to
Yeah, I know.
figure this
we
out.
could look this up real quick. But in their culture, anyway, the number 4,
Yeah.
4th iteration is no good. So they skipped it. So technically it is the 4th one. But they improved the cameras quite a bit. If you remember last year, the Asus is it Zenfone? Is that their main line?
Mhm.
The Zenfone 8, I think, won MKBHD's blind smartphone camera thing, which doesn't mean it's the best camera. It just means it takes very satisfying photos. And so those optics basically are in this phone. So that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
I realized even with the Pixel 6, I still don't take that many photos anymore. I just don't. I mean, I take pictures of my kids, when they're doing some stuff, but it's like my wife's really into that. She's got a Pixel. Have fun, share the photos with me.
She can get all the photos.
She's thinking in that way all the time. I'm in the moment normally.
So where are they, Andrew?
They are from Taiwan.
Taiwan.
Taipei. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, apparently, I don't know. I don't know which cultures. So
Yeah.
I'm sure our culture hates number 13.
Yeah, and back to Robbie's point of it's big for a purpose. When the Pixels first came out, I had already convinced myself I'm fine with the size of the Pixel 6 Pro because it's not that much bigger than my OnePlus 9 was.
Yeah.
And with any phone in this range, after you carry it for a week or two, you just you get used to it.
Sure.
Because then, like if I used the Pro for a couple weeks and then went back to this, I'd be like, man, this phone's tiny because it's all relative. But the 6 Pro never touted enough extra features over the 6 to make it worth having a phone it's like, it's bigger. Who cares? It doesn't really do anything that this one doesn't do. So
yeah, other than the lens.
Yeah.
And a little bit more RAM.
Yeah.
So yeah, this
but
thing
again, I'm right with you on the photos. I take little pictures of my kids and stuff, and Google's AI does everything it needs to with that. So.
And I mean, honestly, I've been pretty happy with the photos I have taken with this. It's got some pretty sweet features in the video camera. It's good enough for what I would want to do.
You put the Google camera on it?
I don't know. Its camera has been pretty good.
Yeah.
So from what I've tested, but again, I just don't really use it for that. So for me to make a decision on a phone based just on the camera is a little silly and short-sighted for me. But as I was watching the Samsung Galaxy S22 announcements, there's part of me that's like, well, the S22 Plus, like, I don't need the Ultra, and I hate curved edges on screens, and I don't really care about having a pen in it or whatever. And so, I'm like, the S22 Plus is interesting looking to me, but it's $1,000. That's how much this phone was. And it comes with 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage. This one has 12 gigs of RAM and a half a terabyte of storage.
That was only $1,000.
Yeah.
Really?
So, and it's got buttons on the top,
yeah.
just like every other ROG phone. So I can map these capacitive buttons on the top for games like PUBG and whatever. And I've got 2 trigger buttons on the top, which is really, really awesome. I love having that. The screen's 120 hertz or 144 hertz. I'm sorry, LTPO, and so it goes down when it needs to and comes back up when it doesn't. Super bright. The speakers are insanely good. It's got I don't remember the megapixel count on the selfie camera. It's crazy high too. And it's got the Snapdragon 888 Plus, so it's not just fast. It works. For me, a processor being fast is, the interface needs to be fast, but it is on most phones these days. It needs to be fast there, and then I need to be able to crank games up to full because I want to be able to play them and enjoy all like the shadows and all that kind of stuff on them. And obviously this does. I think
the Pixel. I think we talked about this yesterday. Like the Pixel's capable.
The Pixel has the horsepower to do it.
They haven't.
It's going to take some time.
The kinks
there's going to be some stuff where, like, PUBG is a perfect example of this. Like, they optimize the game for certain chipsets. Period. Yeah. That's just what they do, and you can tell it because when you first ran PUBG on, I've told this story before, on the Lenovo Duet, you can only go like to the lowest settings, the lowest all the stuff, and then 6 months later, I'm like, oh, we can go to HDR on here, and I can go to like ultra frame rates and all this stuff. It's the same processor. Yeah. All of a sudden, the game runs 10 times better on it. It's the same thing. If they decided to say, we're gonna make sure the game is optimized for Tensor, it would be way better. Yeah. But until there's enough phones to legitimize that, they have 50, 60 million people that play PUBG Mobile. Yeah. They're gonna optimize for the main one. So and that's the Snapdragon. So. Yeah. It just is what it is. And so for me,
it's a cool phone.
It is
a very cool
like
phone.
I said, I got a couple new cases coming today because the case I bought is chunky.
On an already kind of
it's a big phone.
Yeah.
It is a big phone. And again, big for a purpose. So I'm okay with that. But I'm hoping the cases are a little smaller because I put the one they send you with it is like really angular and kind of sharp in some spots, but it's much thinner. I had it on there, and I'm like, man, the feel of this case is completely doable. Like, this case makes it feel like a tank. Yeah. It's comfortable for playing games in because it's large. But so far I've really enjoyed it. And it's funny, it's just like the Pixel to an extent. Like, a phone with a great camera makes you more apt to want to go take pictures. Sure. A phone with a great gaming experience makes me want to play more games. Sure. And I found the Pixel was making me not want to play games.
One last thing about what I know, this isn't your first ROG phone.
No, I've had all of them except the first one.
What's
Not true.
What's their flavor of Android like? Is it pretty slim, clean?
This is at least the third one of these I've had. I may have had all of them.
I know you've had at least 2 more.
Yeah, prior to this. I think
that would be all of them because there's only been 4. No, 3. Yeah. So you missed one.
I think I did the second and third one.
Yeah.
Or maybe I skipped whatever. Yeah. They have 2 modes. So sorry, I'm trying to clean this thing off because it was really gross. They've got the gamer mode, like you put it in that, and you select it right out of the box, and it is, I mean, heavy-handed. It everything looks like gamer stuff,
right.
And we've said this before. Like, we play mobile games, and I love playing mobile games. I enjoy it a lot.
Right, but ROG is a PC brand.
Right. To consider myself a gamer, no, that's not a thing. In a different reality, maybe I would be. I really do like games, and I enjoy playing them. My life just doesn't. I don't have the time to. That's why I like mobile games.
Yeah.
Because it's more bite-sized, and so it's just too much for me. But you turn that off, and it's darn near. It's like OnePlus. Actually, it's more pure than even OnePlus is.
Really?
Like
just watching you click around on some stuff yesterday, like it looks clean.
It looks like what the last version of the Pixel looked like, almost across the board.
Yeah.
There's some the folders look a little different or something, but
yeah.
Other than that, it's a real standard take on Android. So when it gets Android 12, which as many bugs as Android 12 has been coming along with, I'm not super excited for, let them work some of that out first. But I'm sure the Android 12 experience will be pretty Pixel-like, I guess. I don't know. I'm not seeing a lot of Android 12 on any other phones yet, so I don't even know what that even looks like outside of Google.
We give you crap about buying new phones and returning them or not, whatever. But that process is what has gotten us here.
Yeah,
right. It's like
it birthed from Unbox,
finding, being into the next thing or trying to, find the next thing or.
It's why we have a sweet golf simulator.
Yeah,
in our
yeah.
office.
I mean, it's part of it. This is where we can start including some Robbie recommends though in the newsletter.
Yeah.
So the newsletter this week. So if you all aren't subscribed, you can go check out. I think we need to change the title on the sign up. Make it. I don't know. We need to brand it or something. But
yeah,
we've always said it's kind of like updates and giveaways, promos and giveaways. But I've started doing it weekly now. So if you've ever signed up for a giveaway with us, you're on this list. Or if you just go to the website and sign up and click, I think it's updates and giveaways right now. You can
promos and giveaways.
Promos and giveaways, yeah, whatever. And we've kind of made that a little bit more narrative, trying to do a couple of our like top stories or things that are going on kind of in our world. And part of that we've said could be like Robbie recommends, and it's not even necessarily Chromebook stuff. It could just be
whatever
Robbie's into. So there you go. All right, we're gonna take a quick break for an ad, and we will be right back. Alrighty, welcome back, everyone. So yeah, we had a few things written down here that we're gonna talk about, but we kind of forgot about the website.
Yeah. I don't know how I forgot about the website.
And an update of other Chrome Unbox stuff. So yeah, let's dig into a couple Chrome OS things. Maybe just talk Flex.
Yeah, we got to talk about that first.
Yeah. So
make sure we talk
the
about
biggest
that.
story of this week, if you've been around the site or you've been around the interwebs, you've probably seen the announcement from Google of a new-ish thing.
So, fun fact, I almost missed and forgot about all of this. Like, I was so in website design world that I was out of the loop. People probably could tell last week, like during the podcast, that I was just kind of trying to catch up. Like, what was that again now? I don't remember. And in a string of emails from our contact at Google, we were talking about something else, but then there was one paragraph at the end of an email where he's like, I got this thing under embargo about Cloud Ready, and would you accept that? I just didn't see it. So luckily he reached back out Monday and said, hey, I just wanted to check, do you still want this embargoed information? I'm like, yeah. And so it came back, and I had a call with him. Like, I almost missed it, which would have been really sad because it's a pretty big deal. And obviously they got this info out to basically everybody because when the embargo lifted,
it was pretty big news. Yeah,
The Verge, everybody.
Was it Wednesday? No, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
It was Tuesday. But when the embargo lifted, and everybody had this stuff out there, but it's a big deal, and it's one of those things like it got written up and covered by everybody pretty quickly, and I don't don't really feel like there's been a ton of chatter about it, and it feels like there should be.
Yeah.
Like the more
It
I think
felt
about
like
it, the
most
bigger deal.
Most
I think
people
it is.
treated it like just a white labeled press release, and there's a lot to this. Lot.
And can't speak for Google. We don't obviously control any of that kind of stuff. But
We don't work for Google.
yeah, in case you're going to send us an email about how something doesn't work, we don't work for.
Happy
we're
to
not
help.
Google.
Happy to help. Happy
don't
to
work
try to
for
help
them.
you figure it out. But
But you can't tell us that you demand a certain feature from your Chromebook. There's nothing we can do about it.
You can, but we probably aren't going to reply.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, the idea here is, just in case you're listening to this or watching this and you don't know what Neverware or Cloud Ready are, it's just, we made this video about how to use this thing that even by then, I guess, Neverware had been a thing probably at least a year or more.
At least.
And so you got to kind of pull the onion back all the way down and go, okay, just like Android, Chrome is Google's version of an open source platform. So, and Chrome OS is a Google-ified version of an open source platform. So the open source of those things are Chromium and Chromium OS. So when we talk about finding stuff in the Chromium repositories, it's changes that are being made to kind of the underlying open source part of it. That's why sometimes stuff comes that we're like, we never saw this because the foundation on the open source level was there. Google did their own thing that's in Chromebooks that won't be a part of Chromium OS. So they obviously can do that. Chrome OS is not open source, and Chrome is not open source. But Chromium that is used to build Chrome is the same engine that powers now Microsoft's Edge browser. So that's how that works. Like Edge isn't Chrome and Chrome isn't Edge, but they're both based on Chromium. So the underlying stuff is the same between them. And so what companies were able to do, because it's open source, was able to take this operating system and this browser and make other stuff. So what are the other Chromium browsers? Is Brave's Chromium?
Brave is Chromium. Edge is technically Chromium now.
There's another. Is Vivaldi Chromium? It might be. I don't know. There's a couple browsers out there that are that way. The same thing happened with Chromium OS. So Flint OS was one of them.
There's Flint OS. There's another one that's
Cloud Ready, and then there was
Fide.
I was gonna say there was one that
There's another one too.
there was one that we talked with them
Charles
at
or something.
CES.
No, that was an Android.
That was
weird
Android
that was an
thing.
Android. Oh, shit.
Same idea there though.
Yeah. That went nowhere.
You take in an open source thing.
What was the name of that one though?
Remix.
Remix. Thank you.
Remix
OS.
tried to make it for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But they take AOSP, which is Android open source project, and then they bundle it up, and you got to get stuff. You got to jump through the hoops to get Google's Play Store stuff on there. Google was eventually wise enough to pull Play services away from Android as an open source thing, and that's how they kind of control things now. But with Chrome OS, it's not that way. Chrome OS is Google's and Google's alone, and a lot of the stuff that they've created on there just isn't available on Chromium OS. And so Cloud Ready by a company called Neverware was easily the most successful version of that thing. And so what they figured out was, hey, we can bundle up Chrome OS on a USB stick because it's a small install, and you can plug that USB stick into old hardware, and maybe it'll work and run a version of something that looks a lot like Chrome OS, and it does. I mean, Chromium OS, I don't know, 85% solution.
Functionally,
it misses some of them.
But even prior to the acquisition, Cloud Ready Neverware worked so closely with Google. Even then, Chromium Cloud Ready looked just like Chrome OS out of the box.
Yeah, and so I don't know that I've ever used Chromium OS like bare bones. I
used it on that Atari.
Okay.
The only real difference is the out of box experience. You do have like that blue Chrome logo instead of the regular Chrome logo, but you're missing some of the bits and pieces. But
yeah. And so Cloud Ready, like Gabe said, worked with Google a lot, and their main thing was in education markets. So these schools that had a fleet of old Windows devices that they're like, oh, we don't want to throw all these away, but they're too slow to work on. Cloud Ready's like, hey, put our little thing on a USB stick, plug it in there. If it functions with your laptop, you can hit the button, fully install the whole thing, wipe it. I did that back when I made that video years ago. I think that tower's in the other room. It's got Cloud Ready on it. We need to put Flex.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that in a second. But and I overwrote the whole hard drive. Like it writes Windows is gone. That is not a Windows machine. It's a cloud ready machine now. And it ran, it's a 2nd gen Core i something, and it was okay with Windows, but it smokes Chromium OS at that time. I'm sure it's probably even a little faster now. But at the beginning, it was like, just try it and see if it works. My guess is they were pulling settings from BIOS stuff and figuring out like, trackpad is this, keyboard is this, and it was smart enough to map that stuff.
Some cool tech under the hood.
I don't fully understand even how they get it working.
Yeah.
But over the years, they've built this long laundry list of supported devices where they can say, yes, we've tested. We have enough people that asked. We made sure and tweaked whatever we need to tweak. This one's a thumbs up. And so you get this long list of like full thumbs up, full support. You get ones that you kind of may have issues. You got ones that aren't so great, and then you got ones we don't know. We haven't tested.
You can try it.
Right.
Yeah.
And they've always encouraged that. They've always said, hey, try it. It's free to try. It's free to use. The only time you paid money is if you needed to say, hey, I've got 50 Chromebooks, and we want to actually administer those in some way, shape, or form. Then you're going to pay a license. And that was a separate license from what like the Google Admin Console was. And so I think you had to have Google Admin Console plus this.
Yeah, so you had to get a cloud-ready license and a management console. But that was cool because even before Google acquired them, Google was okay with those devices being managed through the Google Admin Console, even though they weren't officially Chrome OS.
But they were like siloed or something, from what I understand. So taking all of that and understanding that that's what's been going on for a little while, and our video was titled, install Chrome OS or whatever on this thing. And, there are obviously all kinds of comments. This isn't Chrome OS. This is Chromium OS. It's not the same. And I'm like,
you're right.
It's
whatever.
Yeah, you're right. But that's not true anymore. Now Chrome OS Flex has come out because in December of 2020, I'm sorry, Google acquired Neverware. And we postured a bunch of stuff about why they might be doing it. Maybe it's to extend the life of Chromebooks. Sure. Maybe it's to do something and this one's hit end of life and you can do this. And maybe that's stuff still in the cards. We don't know. But what they announced this week is clearly what they were aimed at, what they were wanting to do, and that is to release a version of Chrome OS, not Chromium OS, like real legit Chrome OS, that can get deployed in the same way that Cloud Ready is being deployed. This will replace Cloud Ready. Eventually Cloud Ready computers, they'll take the update process like they normally would, and they'll just have Chrome OS Flex instead. It'll be a seamless update process, but these devices will be able to be managed just like a Chromebook. They have a legit Chrome browser. It's legit Chrome OS with all the fun stuff that comes along with it, like Phone Hub and Nearby Share, and Google Assistant, and just all those features. Now it's going to be right now it's technically in developer preview, which means it's on Chrome OS 100, so it's on release 100. Once we get to Chrome OS 100, their plan is to roll this out now in stride with Chrome OS. So my Chromebook gets updated. Well, guess what? So does Chrome OS Flex. And so we did what we do and installed it. I put it on a USB 2.0 stick. Not
recommended.
Don't do that.
It got stuck on the boot screen. It was on it.
It was rough.
We should have filmed that behind the scenes too, Andrew. It would have been like, all right, yeah, here's this new thing.
Yep. Let's just sit here for a minute. Hold on.
Let
me
hold
reboot
on.
it again. And so I went out after we filmed. We just released this video, just kind of explaining the setup and whatever to it. And so I went out to Best Buy right after that, went and got a proper USB 3.0 fast read-write stick, did the whole install process, plugged it into the laptop, and it absolutely flies. And the better part is, like, it's not just that it's fast. The gaming laptop I was using is 144 hertz screen. So instead of Chrome OS being like, oh, we don't have 144 hertz Chromebooks, we don't know what to do with it, it's fine. It's the smoothest looking I've never seen Chrome OS look this buttery smooth, because it's like, wow, at that kind of frame rate. I've not gotten to see that before. And so seeing the animations move and that kind of fluidity is really cool. But the trackpad works. All the gestures on your trackpad work. 2 finger, 3 finger, 4 finger.
Awesome.
All just works. And think about that, just that for a second. Like, think about Windows laptops and their trackpads. I've had 2 in the last, a couple years with the golf simulator, and both of them have wildly different ways that they treat their trackpads. Like you go into the settings and there's all these different gesture things because there are all these drivers that go with the thing, and
it's legacy over time. They've just added all
stuff's
these
been
different.
stacked. And some of it's actually doing mouse commands via the track. Like it's still not, unless it's a Microsoft Precision Touchpad, I think is what they call theirs. It's up to the manufacturer to just make the trackpad kind of work with Windows the way it should. And most of them have it. They're doing what Microsoft would expect now, but the settings pages look wildly different on the two Windows devices I have right now. And I can think of a couple I had before that were different than those. And so you've got somehow Chrome OS Flex is like, nah, I got it.
Yeah.
It's fine. I don't know.
I'll take care of that.
Right.
Get out of the way.
How?
Yeah. Some really cool tech.
Open source for the win, man.
And MSI, the laptop we tried this on, it's not that particular laptop's not on their supported list. It's MSI is not on there at all.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is going to be hit or miss. Nope. Trackpad works perfectly. All the USB ports work perfectly. I tested the headphone microphone jack. Works just fine.
Awesome.
The volume up and down and the brightness toggles are actually on the arrow keys on this one. So you hold function and use the arrow keys. Those are all mapped properly. Every function key on the thing that would do something for Chrome OS works. The Windows key is mapped to the everything button. Call up assistant with Windows A. I'm like, what?
Here's a question. How willing are you to completely wipe that device?
Not at all.
That's why I'm just wondering that. I'm like, is it taking cues?
Not that one.
Right. Is it taking cues from the OS, the stuff that's already there, or is this BIOS level stuff? Like if you wipe the device, is all of that still going to work? I mean,
I'm guessing something on the thing would basically grab that stuff, and it probably has it held there as it boots. It probably grabs that. There's probably a file or something.
Let's get with our Google rep and tell them that we want to figure out some details.
We can recover that back to Windows. It's not that big of a deal. What was that look for?
It's my golf simulator. Now my other one, the one that I replaced that with,
we can do it on that one.
All right, cool.
My son might have issue with you. He uses it for Beat Saber now.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, he's working on his mods.
Computer. Jeez.
So we did a quick kind of announcement video that just went out today. We'll make sure to link it. That you paired with a article kind of explaining the difference, like why this, because in my little intro there, I said this is kind of a newish because there's Cloud Ready that's been out there. This is the Google version, but now it's added some things. So you had an article kind of talking about the differences. I'm really excited now to do maybe even a little series of videos.
What can we put this on?
Installing it on anything and everything.
Yeah. And Andrew had a great terminology for like what this would be called.
What was it?
See, can it flex?
Can it flex?
That's great. This is that'll be a whole series.
I love it.
There's going to be a section on the homepage.
Yes.
Can it flex?
Can it flex? And we're just going to put it on everything.
How many old cameras do we have around here? Can we put Chrome OS on a camera?
Well, it's going to have
x86.
Yeah, it's got to have x86 on it.
I don't know what kind of processor is in a camera.
Not x86, I don't think.
But, I mean, Macs,
I have a very old MacBook Pro in my car.
Let's do it.
We're going to try that.
The desktop I've got, I'm going to bring in the other PC I've got. One thing I want to do, and I want to spend the money.
LG Gram.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's an LG Gram that is fully supported.
We're doing it.
And it's an 11th gen. Like,
we're doing
a good
it.
one.
And they're dope.
Hey,
we've wanted a Gram Chromebook.
And we found out that they're not making a Gram Chromebook. They're making a duty education Chromebook. And I am so upset that is LG's first swing at a Chromebook.
Got to start somewhere. I could see them not wanting.
You're LG. That's not where you start.
I was gonna say they've got the chops.
Anyway, we do have an Atari VCS in the house. We're gonna get it on there, which that should work well because it actually officially supports Chromium OS. So
that'll be better. Well. And I think it's probably easier for devices that are like a box type setup.
Yeah,
because they don't have to deal with the BIOS being able to understand keyboard shortcuts. It's like you send me a keyboard and we'll deal with it.
Yeah.
Which shout out to Andrew, by the way. I walked in on him while he was making this featured image earlier, and he was telling me what he was going to do with it. And now that I see the finished product, I'm like, At first glance, so awesome. And even at second glance, you could tell me that's a legit piece of tape.
Duct tape.
It's so great.
I'm sure Andrew will pop this up on the screen while we're talking about it, but it is an image of the MSI laptop with a duct tape Chrome logo on there.
So Photoshop, you were able to do this and do the overlays?
Yeah, that was with Photoshop. I took an image of the duct tape and then the Chrome logo and put it all together. And
Yeah.
and made it look like it was on.
How'd you do the overlay to fit the wrinkle?
So it's a whole process of displacement, and so it essentially takes the image and looks at the darkest and light spots of the image.
That's so cool.
And then readjust whatever you have on that layer.
Cool
There
stuff.
you go.
My
Cool
brain
stuff.
just exploded.
Yeah. So
We hired Andrew to get duct tape pictures. We haven't had one before, and now we have one.
We've never had a duct tape Photoshop.
No,
Thank you, Andrew.
I would have gone and gotten duct tape.
That's right. Of all the things you've done in your first week on the job, officially, his official first day
week 1.
was the 14th. He started on Valentine's Day.
Yep.
He is our Cupid. He's just he's just shooting little goodness, little hearts around. That's what's happening.
So Andrew's a cherub. All right.
This is getting off the rails.
The world's largest cherub.
King size.
Can you Photoshop you as? We're gonna
A little fat baby with a diaper and wings.
Yeah,
That's what we want.
But also a beard.
And a beard.
and a beard. Then we're gonna you've got to have you holding your camera, and we're gonna put that out to patrons.
I mean, I have a job tonight, so yeah, that's it.
Oh, I love it. I'm crying over here.
Uh.
It's good stuff. But yeah,
Anyway.
featured image turned out cool for that video. But we're gonna do some more of these. Maybe even do some little behind the scenes as we're trying to figure some of this stuff out. But yeah, Chrome OS Flex. Like,
Yeah,
what's the quick, like, for anybody who's like, hey, this all sounds awesome. Like, how do I do this?
Yeah, go. We'll have it linked in the show notes, but you can go to the website. There's a couple spots, and you'll get to where you need to download it. That just made me think. I don't know that I put a link where to download because I wasn't exactly saying like, here, go do it.
Yeah.
I think the first post I did it, like the announcement post, has a link to where you can go get it. But literally, you search Chrome OS Flex and you'll find it immediately. It walks you through the entire thing, but it's basically really simple. If you're on a device with Chrome the browser and it's not a Chromebook, you get the recovery utility extension. If you're on a Chromebook, you have it already. It's built into Chrome OS. But you're going to write a recovery image basically to a USB stick. It needs to be at least 8 gigs. And like I said, it works far better if it's 3.0, USB 3.0.
Which are, you got that one for what?
$17. So it's the size of like a Logitech dongle, and it's 128 gigs, and it's 200 megs rewrite speed.
Yeah.
And so anyway, you open up that tool, plug your USB stick in, you select Chrome OS Flex as the device that you want to make the recovery image for, and there's only one option. Once you pick Chrome OS Flex, one option of the version, click the button and it makes the image. It's going to obviously wipe everything off of that thumb drive, so take
if
precautions.
you've ever created a recovery image for a Chromebook, it's the exact same process.
You're just doing it instead of for a device, you're doing it for Chrome OS Flex.
Right.
And then you just take that thing and plug it into, you need to get your computer to you got to tell it to boot from the USB.
Right.
That's different for most computers, but for a wide swath of them, at the boot up screen, you hit F11 usually, and it's going to take you to your BIOS screen. You just tell it, hey, I want to boot from my USB.
Sure.
That's going to look different for lots of different laptops. You'd have to Google probably how to do it on your own. I know Surface laptops are a little different even than that. We tried it on our little Surface Go. Could not get that thing to choose to boot from the USB.
Yeah.
But it's got secure boot on it and stuff, so there's probably something I don't know. I ran out of time to fart around with it. So for most part, most laptops are going to be pretty simple. Hook the thing in, it'll boot up in Chrome OS, and if you've ever used a Chromebook, it's going to look real familiar because it's again, I can't stress how wild this is. It's not like this buddy version and this dumbed down. Like they even said when I was talking to them, like they don't want this to be like Chrome OS Lite. That's not the point here. This isn't kind of Chrome OS. This is 100% Chrome OS. They did make sure and tell us like we're not focused on the extras. So Android is one of those things. Android is an extra. Android's a container. Linux is a container. Windows Parallels is a container.
Sure.
Those things. They're not focused on that stuff right now. They're focused on the core Chrome OS experience. But when it comes to that stuff, and I know, a lot of times for me, I'll just turn Android apps off for different reasons. Especially if I'm having to boot in and out of different devices a lot. It's just one less step for it to have to do. if you turn Android apps off and you don't fire up a Linux container, which I almost never do, this doesn't feel any different. Like, I'm not kidding. I could take that MSI laptop, log in, and do my work exactly like I would from any other Chromebook.
Right.
And so that raises all of these wild things and thoughts in my head of like, okay, so if there was a laptop, I'm like, I love the look of that, like a Surface laptop.
Yeah.
I really like them. They're nice. It's expensive, but you're paying for good hardware.
Sure.
You know, right now Google has got the USB set up. I got confirmation back today. Like, they're not planning on changing the partition size of that. It's very small, so you only have like 3 gigs of storage technically on there. Like, you could hook another USB stick in and use that as your storage if you wanted to go that route. But it is definitely meant to be a temporary, you're jumping in and doing something, or you're wanting to try this out. They want you to write it to your hard drive. That's what they want you to do. And so, I mean, I don't know. It has my brain thinking, and I think for me, like, to scratch that itch would be like, maybe we end up getting an LG Gram and we do the whole thing.
Let's do it.
We get it on video and we create
an
LG Gram Chromebook. And apart from Android apps, this thing is going to be a Chromebook. Like, we're going to overwrite Windows. There won't be Windows on there anymore. It'll be Chrome OS.
I love
Flex, but it's Chrome OS.
Let's do it.
We'll make a Gram Chromebook.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Hey, LG, you're not going to do it?
You won't do it?
We'll take care of it.
That just made me think.
Yeah, and he's on Swap. I was thinking about that too.
They don't have him on there. But it also made me think. We're not going to talk much about this, but the whole Pixel 6 virtualization thing.
Oh yeah,
Chrome OS Flex could be the image that runs on a.
Yeah.
I mean, the Tensor chip's not a powerhouse, but it would run Chrome OS just fine. It would have no problem.
And that's absolutely what they could do. I think we're
That
going to
could be
save
an
that
option.
for
somebody
maybe next week's Chromecast.
Yeah, somebody hit me up on Twitter and said something like, Google, did you give it thought that maybe Google's and I'm like, believe me, yes, I've thought about that a lot, because you look at what Apple's doing with the M1.
Yeah.
If Tensor gets to where the original iteration of the M1 is, the first M1, that's more. I mean, could you imagine our Mac Mini that we had on Chrome OS?
Yeah.
It'd be a beast.
So, I mean, think about it. If you think about it in those terms for just a second, the M1 runs the newer iPads. So, say the M1 runs the next iPhone. Not completely out of the question.
Yeah.
Probably won't happen, but, if Apple chose to do that and put the M1 in something like an iPhone,
Right.
that means you could also have Mac OS on the iPhone, like dock it, and you would have Mac OS on there. Like, they technically could do that. Is Apple going to do that? No, because Apple wants you to buy both of those things.
Yeah, and you need an iPad.
Yeah,
and you need an Apple Watch.
Right. They clearly don't operate in that way of like, here's
Glasses.
one thing. They're a buy all of our stuff kind of company. They're not going to do that. My point is, they could do that. The same chip that doesn't need fans and can fit in very small spaces could run the phone and a desktop OS. And Chrome OS Flex honestly could be the path towards that if they chose to do it, if they wanted to do that, because they're on an Android phone, you're not going to dock your phone and have who knows? I don't know. Maybe some of that stuff where they're doing the Esh, these screens, these Android things passing into your, like, that stuff is going to come to Chrome OS Flex probably, because that's just all OS based stuff. That's not.
Yeah, it's actually web based.
Yeah, that's not the Android container. That's your phone virtualizing the thing and passing it over to your Chromebook. So all that stuff will probably come to Chrome OS Flex. So again, imagine a situation where you've got a Pixel phone, you're doing your Pixel things, you plug it in, it runs the Chrome OS Flex container that's in there, virtualization, whatever thing that's in there, and while you're up and running, well, all of your phone notification stuff now route through this new Esh interface, so that you're not missing anything from your phone. All that stuff will pop up on your screen. You can interact with it. And when you're done, pop the thing out and walk away. Like, the pieces are all right there. Yeah. Like, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, and that's what I had talked about in my articles. We've always looked at it from the perspective of an Android phone or a Chrome OS phone that has the bits and pieces of Android. This could literally do what we're wanting, but in the opposite direction. And like you said, because I saw a conversation on Twitter, people were like, oh, this is really niche and, your battery and all that. But if you're using it docked as a PC, there's no reason Google can't make this to where, when it's docked and plugged in and you're using the Chrome OS side of it, the battery's not even in the play. It just bypasses. You're getting straight power. Your phone, like you said, your phone notifications and everything will still there. We know that they have incoming phone calls are coming to Phone Hub. Everything you use is going to be right there. So virtualization of the guy that did it already did Windows and Linux, but he did a full version of Windows 11. He did Linux, and if you can do Linux, then you can do Chrome OS.
Sure, absolutely.
So essentially, you could run any operating system virtualized and. What else do you need? I mean, this is what you've wanted your entire life since you were born.
We've talked about it on this show.
Forever. Yeah.
Out of 151 episodes now, or 52 episodes.
Probably been mentioned in a quarter of them.
I would say a quarter of them. It has been a lot, though.
Well, if you search Chrome phone on our website, the first few articles you get are episodes of the Chromecast.
Yeah,
so
talking
there
about
you go.
that stuff. Yeah.
And that's all stuff that obviously is just kind of out there and possibilities for Chrome OS Flex. And I'm sure internally they've got some ideas.
Yeah, hopefully.
But it was said to me on the call, the first 100 versions of Chrome OS were for our own hardware. And if you didn't know this, Google is heavily invested in every Chromebook that is made. Like they don't just let people go run and make Chromebooks. And so even though it's not technically Google made, it's what Google would consider their hardware basically. And they said the first 100 versions are for our hardware. The next 100 are for everything else. Like they're really thinking about what this could be. Now, right now, they're focused on the Prime Core, experience and how they can do that. But the mobility of an operating system like this, like I'm not kidding. I've got it on a USB stick. The one that we're messing with obviously belongs to Chrome OS or Chrome Unboxed, but I'm gonna go get one myself and put the Chrome OS Flex image on it and just keep it in my bag. Because if I'm somewhere and I've got access to a computer and it's some slow turd, then I'm going to pop that USB stick in there.
You're in a
boot up
hotel
in
and you go to the business center and it's like Windows 98 SE.
Yeah.
That's a little behind the scenes video. Let's go to one of the hotel business centers and
just boot it up into Chrome OS.
Boot it up into Chrome OS.
Or you're at a family member's house and they're like, will you look at this such and such, and you realize like they don't ever use this when I'm using this because I know exactly what I'm talking about here. Like you don't use Windows for anything other than getting on Facebook and checking your email.
Yeah.
Can I show you this real quick? Oh, do you like this? Look, we'll hit this one button here and all that Windows crap is just going to disappear. And it'll be gone. And you don't have to worry about it
Make
anymore.
sure it's all backed up.
I've
got an idea. So this is on Android 13. So tomorrow or over the weekend, I'll get a Windows 11 running virtualization. Then we'll get the virtualized version of Windows to boot your Chrome OS Flex stick.
Perfect.
So we'll have Android with Windows with Chrome OS.
That sounds super simple.
And we'll play Stadia on it.
I wonder though, now that you kind of have Chrome OS Flex in an image, like whatever process you go for getting Windows on there, you might be able to just substitute in the Chrome OS Flex and put it in there.
We're sure gonna try.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. So
we've been trying to get Chrome OS on a phone forever. Even in some sort of weird brittle way, it would be awesome.
We're gonna figure it out one way or another. But we're gonna try it one way or another.
You get the sense, that yes, this is right now aimed at businesses and schools. Like they want to be able to take old laptops and repurpose them, and it's great from an ecological standpoint too. Like instead of throwing a bunch of probably usable computers in the trash or something.
Yeah.
Like give them some new life because an old, like we need to, that's one of the other tests I want to run. I want to find something old that's not great, that's kind of struggling to run Windows and fully wash it out and put
we threw that big old Acer away. That would have been
the display
perfect.
didn't ever work on it though, did it?
Yeah, I mean the HDMI out worked. I'm sorry, VGA out
worked
on it.
We can find some, but
we've got the desktop.
Yeah,
but I want to get a good old crusty laptop.
Let's just go to like a pawn shop and see what we can find.
I think that Mac I have is a 20. What was the first year the MacBook was made?
Oh gosh,
man.
I don't know. It's
long
been
time ago.
A long time.
It's a 2010, I think, or 2011.
That'd be old enough.
It's like an Intel
Big
Duo Core.
Oh, so it was back in the Core Duo.
Oh yeah, she's old.
Yeah, I mean, I think
awesome.
like,
I have another. I still have an iMac too.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that what those are, the big ones?
Mhm.
So I have a 2011 iMac.
Sweet.
So
Oh yeah, that'll be perfect.
2006 was the first MacBook Pro.
Okay, yeah. So this one
was a few years
This
in.
one's not much newer than that.
Because I think the first MacBook Pro still were running that Power. What was it?
Yeah,
PowerBook or Power PC or I don't know.
Power PC. That's what it was
Like
called.
those other processors.
Yeah.
I don't even know what those are.
Yeah.
And then they switched over to Intel.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna test it out. We will probably get an LG Gram and do that. So hey, if you're listening and you want an LG Gram Chromebook, if we were to do this and you maybe would want to buy it from us after we do that, just let me know.
Yeah. We talked about maybe buying it, doing this, and then doing a really cool giveaway with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Like,
That we
That'd
could.
be
we're going to
awesome.
give away the world's
LG
only LG Gram Chromebook.
LG would be like, what the heck, guys?
Hey, man, y'all had the chance.
We're
Sorry.
trying to get y'all's attention.
Better yet, let's just message them and see if they'll send us one. Be like, hey, this is what we're gonna do with it.
That's a great idea.
So
I
might as
remember
well. We'll
seeing
try.
that at CES that first year and was just like,
Oh, it's
man,
beautiful. It's
if
a
this was a
great piece of
Chromebook.
hardware. Because
Oh,
yeah, you're right, Robbie. I mean, we've always said Chrome OS, when you're going to shop for a device, you're shopping for whatever hardware you want.
Yeah.
Right.
The OS is always the same.
Yeah.
So you just find the device that you want. Well, now could be that's even a step further, and you
Yeah.
could literally find.
Yeah. I mean, it's hit or miss. Like,
You
I don't
know.
want to oversell this as
Sure.
it works on anything, but again, a little
We're gonna-
floored how well it worked
Yeah.
on the MSI.
We're gonna try it on all kinds of
A
stuff.
whole other thing I just realized. I know that they said the whole Linux environment, all that stuff, isn't something they're focused on. Didn't they
Said
say
it does,
like,
they said it does work right now on a handful.
some? What if I'm gonna get him to let me do this? What if GPU support recognizes, because that has a RTX in it, right? I might have to go buy an MSI now.
Well, we might be able to try it though with the USB.
Yeah, the USB
method.
might still be able to
maybe,
recognize it.
maybe. That's
But it won't. It errors out right now when I try to use Linux.
that's a problem. We
Gabe,
couldn't install
Gabe
it.
is gonna figure out some way to.
I'm gonna come in here on like a Saturday to hit some golf balls. He's gonna be like, "I'm sorry."
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. No.
I promise I can restore it.
It'll be
Oh
fine.
wait,
be
I'll
fine.
figure it out. It's fine.
So, all right, we're probably running low on battery over here. So,
Well, we're running low on Andrew's patience. I know that.
Andrew's like, I know you all said I had to be here for this. This is great. This
He's
is
like,
good.
but let's wrap it
Hey,
up.
but seriously, thanks for joining us in the Andrew Cam.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
you
been
joined
fun.
us last week and the week before and the week before, I think, but the
it
Andrew,
wasn't
the Andy
documented.
Cam, the Andy Cam has it documented now.
Yeah.
I'm here now.
It's legit. We can cut over to Andrew whenever we want, ask him questions, have
Well,
him
we should
pull
let
up
him.
stuff for
We
us.
should let him host one.
Technically speaking, Andrew can cut to Andrew whenever he wants.
Andrew's
That is
gonna
true.
cut to Andrew.
I bet you Andrew's gonna be cut to all the time.
Dude,
he's probably
he's
been over
gonna-
there doing crazy stuff. We haven't even been watching. He's just like,
Like this week's
I
episode of
can't-
the Chromecast, Robbie, Joe, and Gabe aren't here.
We're gonna have.
Sorry.
We haven't done any ad spots for the video yet, but we'll have Andrew do all the ad spots. All right,
you go.
Andrew, take it away. Run the ads. He's just over there with his mic looking at the camera. Today's
I don't-
episode
I don't
of the
want to.
Chromecast is brought to
Yeah.
you by. All right. All right. Yeah, I think that's it for this week. Kind of a different episode. We wanted to chat about the new website and all the other stuff going on, and then obviously the Chrome OS Flex stuff.
And yet so
It's super fun.
very similar to every other episode. I mean, in so many ways. Let's
Different,
be honest.
but the same. So we appreciate you all tuning in. That's it for this week. We'll catch you next week. See you. All right. So we're gonna